Hi guys, hope everyone is doing well. Today, again, just jumping in for a few minutes, I want to talk about Wi-Fi again, but more so the post-implementation Wi-Fi testing. And you may ask yourself, how do you really test Wi-Fi after implementation? The most common test used or approach used for testing Wi-Fi after implementation is coverage. You just walk around, look at the intended coverage areas, and look at the bars on your PC or your phone. And once you have bars, then you're covered. Mission accomplished. All right, project successful. That's actually inaccurate. Our experience has shown us, guys, that testing for coverage post-implementation alone is not a true indication of the success of a wireless deployment. There are many factors that affect the customer experience in a Wi-Fi network. We first have to understand that Wi-Fi is using shared bandwidth. So you don't have dedicated bandwidth that you would have on a wired network. And Wi-Fi uses radio frequencies, things that cannot really be contained. So the variables are totally different. So your approach to testing should also be totally different. All right. This is our approach to actually testing Wi-Fi solutions post-implementation. There are many different things that we actually do, and this may not be a complete list, but let me just throw a few at you. We do test coverage. So we walk around the site and we don't look at bars, we look at actual electrical readings from the actual access points. Those readings are called RSSIs, or receive signal strength indicators. Those are actual readings emitted from the actual access point and are measured by our devices. So we can get an indication via values what the coverage is in particular areas. That's coverage testing. There's actually roaming testing. Roaming is the ability for you to walk across or through your building and not drop coverage, similar to cell coverage. You may ask yourself, how is that actually done? That's actually done by designing very, 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 very carefully the overlap of Wi-Fi signals into each other. And that in itself, after being designed and deployed, should actually be tested properly. So we walk the site. We look at when we move from area to area, we follow on the relevant wireless platform where the device is actually being dropped and picked up by other access points. A properly designed wireless network should not have you drop connectivity as you walk through a building, unless that was part of the requirement. We have client onboarding testing. Coverage is important, but so is onboarding or getting the client on and off of the wireless network. Remember, a wireless network is not a wired network. You have to manage how fast the clients come on, likewise how fast they come off. Those things directly affect the customer's experience. If you have a client taking 2 minutes to get access to a wireless network for whatever reason, IP addresses and so on, then that's a problem. That's a problem. So client onboarding, right, is actually a test. We have other tests, for example, throughput testing, right? We actually test the throughput from various access points through different parts of the organization, again, to simulate how traffic will be handled during the actual live process. Right? We also have testing for heavy traffic types like voice and video. Right? We have frequency testing. Right? We test to see where the devices actually onboard, which frequency do they onboard on 2.45 gig. The point I'm making, guys, is that coverage testing is very common. It's also very important, but it should not be used as the only factor to judge the success of a wireless deployment. So we're going to be having more and more conversations like this in our webinar, which is carded for December 2nd at 2 p.m. 7 steps to implementation, guys. So keep close to our content, keep close to our channels, and thank you for listening, and see you soon. Register below.